For time. We waiting for someone?
I think so.
You good? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to say good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. This is our way of pretty much saying that there is a Christmas gift to our community. And by saying that, I want to update you on what our narcotics unit has been doing over the last week or so. We've told you for years now that drug traffickers have guns. Drug traffickers with guns cause neighborhood violence. And so we prioritize the people that are trafficking in drugs because they are tearing apart our neighborhoods. So for the last week or so, our narcotics unit, Lieutenant Workman's unit, he's around here somewhere, had done a fantastic job with the assistance of our gun crimes unit, DEA, Pensacola Police SWAT, Sheriff's Office Rapid Response. Our narcotics unit has served 5 separate search warrants since last Friday till today. We're going to go over each one of these. I got a brief picture of the front of the house, and we're going to identify which houses, and then we'll go over what we found in these houses. We dubbed this operation Blue Christmas, and I'll go into that a little bit later on. Why it's not just the song, but it's also has a meaning for what we ended up seizing at the houses. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to have a little bit of a PowerPoint, so we're going to start on Friday the 9th. On Friday the 9th, we hit a home at 146 Diego Circle. This is 146 Diego Circle. All right, in this house, I don't have a slide to show it, but I'm going to hold this up for a second because we have a picture of this. This is what we seized from 146 Diego Circle. We seized 4 guns, you can see in the picture here. We seized 12 grams of methamphetamine, 21 grams of cocaine, served 1 warrant on an individual, and we're applying for 2 more warrants on that individual. These are houses that we continually get complaints on. These are houses that their neighbors many times call us on. These are the ones that when we arrest someone, they tell us about. These are the houses that are nuisances in our neighborhood. They are a danger to our neighborhood, and we have prioritized the attention that they're getting. So this is 146 Diego Circle. On Tuesday, the 13th, we hit this home. As you can see, it's a 3000 block of West Lloyd Street. At this location, we seized 1 gun, 43 grams of crack, 26 grams of cocaine, and $1,500 in cash. In fact, you can see this. So what you're seeing here, obviously, is the gun. They always have the gun whenever they're dealing with this kind of drugs. Some money, and right here you got some crack cocaine and a little bit of marijuana. What we're seeing nowadays is a lot more cocaine than what we were seeing recently. It transitioned from crack cocaine in the 80s and 90s, and it went to methamphetamine, and now we're seeing what they call Molly or ecstasy, and now we're seeing marijuana's coming back, and now we're seeing a little bit of heroin. But what we're really seeing and what we're really concerned about is fentanyl and methamphetamine, and we'll go into that just a little bit longer. Okay, so this is what we found on that location on Wednesday, the 14th. As you can tell, our unit has been very busy, and I'm obviously very proud of them. On that day, we hit this house. There's actually 2 houses, 7022 Chapel, apartment 2A, and we also hit this place, 4421 Court. They may be flip-flop, but those are the 2 houses that we ended up getting. At this location, these 2 locations actually, we seized 1 gun, 3.2 kilos of MDMA that's laced with fentanyl. We also seized 25 pounds of marijuana, 136 grams of cocaine, and a pill press. Now, I think we have a picture of some of this stuff here. This is a good picture if you're a bad guy. It's a good picture if you're a cop. So this is good stuff right here. All right, we got all this marijuana, as you can see. But I want to focus your attention to these smaller bags here where these are pills. These pills are meth. These are MDMA, and these blue pills are also meth, but they are laced with fentanyl. They are blue. That's the reason why we call this Operation Blue Christmas. Now let me show you something. This right here is a pill press. All right. I don't have a pill press at home. I have no reason to have a pill press at home. You may not have a pill press at your home either, because you too have no reason to have a pill press. Here's what they do. they grab all this garbage here and they put fentanyl and they mix it with methamphetamine, and then they make a pill. They'll call Molly sometimes, they'll call it whatever else they feel like calling, but they don't know how much fentanyl is actually in there. Because these doofuses are doing this in their kitchen. They're eating sandwiches over here, they're cooking, they're boiling ramen noodles over here, and then what they've got is they got all this powder here. And they turn around and they're mixing this methamphetamine, they're sprinkling it with fentanyl, they're using a press, and then they go back there, get another bite of their Doritos or whatever they're eating, and then they forget, did I put fentanyl in there or not? So let's do it again. So they put more fentanyl in there. And that's why you can't tell how much fentanyl's in these little pills. And that's why it's so dangerous. And that's why getting a load like this, oh, and there's the gun, just so we know. There's the gun, and all of this is, there's a lot of marijuana, by the way. I know people say, oh, it's just a little weed. That's not a little weed right there. That's a lot of weed. And it's also mixed with all this other business here. We got some cocaine in there to boot. This was the one where we got the gun, 2.2 kilos of MDMA with fentanyl, 25 pounds of marijuana, as you can see, the pill press, and powdered cocaine. This is a one-stop shop. And they also have a gun. Remember, guns will be very important. So finally, our unit wasn't done. See, because our unit is sitting around and they got all this information. They know who the bad guys are. They just have to get it. Well, they have worked overtime this last week or so. And finally, just last night, all through the night actually, they hit a house on 3704 West Jackson Street. This lovely location here. This is a grocery store, Jackson Street grocery store. That's not part of it, right? So I'll tell you how we get here. We drove up here, our SWAT team, with other partners, drive up here. You see this locked gate right here, the secured fence here? We blew right through that. We went right through that. There was nothing there. There was a little shed right here, and there was an individual there, and he was armed, and he's their security guard. All right, and a bunch of people here with guards. He had a gun, by the way. We ended up taking him down in short order. We went all the way through here. People started coming out. So this is the one where we knew, or we had suspected there was going to be a lot of firearms. This is what we found at this location. This is what I found at this location. Remember I said guns? We found 10 firearms, not just firearms. Look at this. Assault style rifle, a hunting rifle, all sorts of guns. One or two of these were also reported stolen. But I also want to point some other things to you. 1,600 grams of fentanyl. Now if you look right here, all these are blue pills, Blue Christmas. All these are, which means they were mixed with fentanyl. Fentanyl was laced with methamphetamine. These right here, they're right off of a brick of fentanyl, which means this is high quality fentanyl. This is coming straight from wherever it's come from, wherever bad area it comes from. They pull it off of here, and then they go back to that dirty kitchen and they start mixing it all together. And then look over here too. These are all crack cocaine, what we call cookies. Now we haven't seen this in a long time. I haven't seen this in quite a while because they stopped doing this kind of crack cocaine. But these are high quality crack cocaine cookies. All right, well over a kilo. That's a lot. And again, all the guns that mix with it as well. We got 1,183 grams of crack, 669 grams of meth, 3 vehicles, and $9,000. That's what we got just last night. So let me just wrap this all up, and then I'll answer any questions if you need to. I do want to point out something. In this last house we had, this is a picture of, see this blue thing right here? That's a baby blanket. This is a baby bag right here, down here, baby type stuff. There was a 4-month-old child, 4 months old? 4-month-old child there when we hit this house. Clearly they didn't know we were coming. But there is a 4-month-old child here. Conceivably, the baby sleeps right here. You see this white stuff on it? That's not baby powder. We tested that. That's fentanyl. That's methamphetamine. That's drugs. That is deadly to us. It's certainly deadly to a toddler. And we're investigating that as well. We're gonna get to the bottom of all that. This is the kind of stuff that we see when we do these search warrants. All right, so let me just leave it on this right here so you can get a pretty good feel. This drum here has, we estimate, about 50 rounds in it. All right, and we also have reason to believe that they had these things with them for security as drug deals were being made in that neighborhood. All right, so let me just round this up and then I'll wrap this up and then I will answer any questions. The totals for the week of Operation Blue Christmas was 5 separate search warrants. 1,600 grams of fentanyl. Let me put that in perspective. because 1,600 grams of fentanyl, it's going to take some math, but let me give it to you. The DEA reports that 2 milligrams of fentanyl are lethal. That means we had enough lethal fentanyl to kill 800,000 people. That's enough to conceivably kill every person in Escambia County, Santa Rosa County, Okaloosa County, and Walton County, and probably a few in the neighboring counties as well. 800,000 people could be killed conceivably. That tells you how dangerous that is. And I just told you how professional these guys are when they're making their pills. This is their high-tech equipment right here. And we got pictures also of their kitchens, and you can see what shape that they're in. Ecstasy, again, we had 30,268 grams, and much of that, we didn't even count this, much of that stuff, these blue pills, are also laced with fentanyl. How much, we don't know. We have to take that to the lab. It could be 1 milligram, it could be more. This is why people are overdosing, because they don't know how much fentanyl they're getting in these things. All right, 681 grams of meth, crack cocaine, 1,200. That's more than a kilo and 1.25 kilos of crack cocaine. This guy was a one-stop shop right here too. 229 grams of powder cocaine, over 25 pounds of marijuana was in that. This is just the totality of all the ones we're getting. The total for the week: 16 guns, ranging from assault rifles, shotguns, hunting rifles, little small crappy guns. Anything you wanted, that's what they had in these houses. Also, we got 3 vehicles out of this. I will tell you this. We are committed to stopping these people that are ruining our neighborhoods. We're committed to stopping the ones that are bringing the stuff in. We're committed to stopping the ones that are selling it and opening up their homes for this type of dangerous behavior. And our narcotics unit has just been knocking it out of the park. And they've only begun. They got so many more things that they're going to do. And we'll be letting you know here shortly. So if you live in a neighborhood, continue to give us the information, because this is what's going on. This is a Christmas present to these neighborhoods. And believe me, it's probably better than any gift that they're going to have. Blue Christmas, because the ones that are killing people, are those blue pills. Now, we have a number of warrants that we're securing for a number of people, so I'm not going to get into all the people. We're going to probably put that out on our Facebook page shortly. But right now, that's where we're at. We have seized probably more drugs in the last week than anyone can remember. Just a collection, the total collection in probably a couple of years. So the credit goes to the members of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, the patrol units, the canine units. All during their daily work, they provide information that filters its way up to our narcotics unit. Our narcotic unit works basically around the clock. We partnered with, in this case, the Pensacola Police Department SWAT team, because we knew there were weapons involved, and we knew we had to hit them fast and we had to hit them hard, and we did that. We partnered with DEA. They were walking with us. They may well adopt one of these cases. They may not. Either way, they're going to jail. They're in jail, and they're going to face these charges. So with that, if there are any questions, I'll try to. I have some of my experts around here, so if I can't answer the question, I can ask them. Anyone have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
2-part question. 1, how long ago did the investigation start into all these different locations, and is there a reason that you execute all these warrants within the same week?
Well, the reason is because, a little shock and awe, because these people have when we hit a house, everyone else is doing something, they're on high alert. And I didn't want to come out here and talk about it and brag about the case that we're doing and then have our guys have to kick a door in the very next day. If they're going to be on high alert, then we're going to be on high alert ourselves. My understanding is the investigations range a little bit. It just so happened that we were able to hit them all this week, but I would say probably a month or so. Now some shorter and some a little bit longer. When we know that there is a location that's selling drugs and just tearing up our neighborhoods, we'll just sit back on it. But we do want to make sure we do it right. We do have to make sure that we get a search warrant. We secure arrest warrants, and then we have the safe, the method in which we can go ahead and take these houses down. It takes a lot of people to kick a door in. It's fun, but it takes a lot of people to do it. Yes, sir.
Did you say you received tips from some neighbors? It seems like that's usually a problem for you all with violent crime on the scene, getting people to talk. Was this different than that?
I can tell you that when we talk about people not wanting to cooperate, that's typically because they have witnessed a shooting. And I wonder why, right? I wonder why there are shootings in neighborhoods where drugs are being sold. But when you live next to or in the neighborhood of a house that's got this kind of traffic in it and this kind of of activity taking place in ruining neighborhood, we typically get a lot of calls on Crime Stoppers. It doesn't have to be the immediate neighbors, it could be anyone inside there. Now, I'm not going to tell you every method that we use. We do a lot, and again, we're going to continue to do it. We do it very well, and we're going to continue to kick as many doors in for as many bad guys as we possibly can. Anyone else have any questions? Yes, ma'am?
I know we talk all the time about the big reason that this is important is because people are dying of these fentanyl overdoses by accident. Do you know if any of these homes or the people that you've arrested are tied in any way to some of the deaths that we've seen? And if not, is that hard to track down?
It's a little difficult to track down. It's not something that we ignore. The problem is if you've got this many drugs, these are hundreds of pills, and they buy 5, 10, 20, 50 at a time, and then they have their own sellers and distributors, and then it goes throughout a community. So while the impact is strong in this specific community, I think that you can probably draw a much larger circle around the impacted area right here in Escambia County. So we do look at that. We continue to investigate. We talk to witnesses. We talk to everyone that we think will help us get a really good idea for what they were doing here, because these investigations have just begun. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, are you getting enough resources to clean this place up?
We have a great relationship with the Board of County Commissioners. We have increased our numbers. We will increase our numbers in the next year by like 24 deputies, and all of them are going to be in the streets. We've increased our pay, so we're filled up. We're fully staffed as an agency. Would I like more? Of course, I'd like more. In the past, we haven't been able to fill the vacancies that we've had. Now we're filling those vacancies. Now we're able to partner with some of our federal and state agencies and just doing a great job. Again, our deputies are out there every day, whether in narcotics or in a cruiser car answering calls. They're out there every day just being brave and doing the job that the Escambia County residents should be very proud of. So do we have enough? They're doing a very good job. But I can tell you we probably can field double the number of investigators and probably continue to have more and more work for them.
Have you asked state law enforcement for additional resources, maybe extra law enforcement agents? Or you mentioned DEA. Do you have a call out for reinforcements?
We have a rather robust enforcement arm here in the Sheriff's Office. Our narcotics unit partnered, again, as I said, with our gun crimes unit, with our rapid response team, and then we have, again, our canine unit, and then we have some overtime available to us. So we're able to handle our charge, and we're able to handle the work that we're expected to do by Escambia County. But we're never complacent. We always want to do a little bit better, whether it's in our enforcement side or it's in our engagement side. We want to take that one step further. So we're kicking in doors, and we're mentoring children. We're doing a little bit of everything because we understand the importance of getting drugs off the street. We see that every day, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Anyone? Yes, ma'am.
You talked about the guns and gun violence. Do you have any indication that these homes and the people you've arrested are tied to any of the homicides that we've seen recently? And I say that because you always say a lot of our homicides are drug related.
Yeah. What we're doing is this is the beginning of this investigation. I mean, these guns we got just last night, and we're still in the very, very beginning of that investigation. I can tell you anecdotally that yes, in the past we have made these cases, and we have seized weapons, and they've been reported stolen. And yes, we've checked them; they're guns related to a certain shooting or a certain homicide. But I'm not at a point yet where I can say that these guns are the ones that end up shooting or killing a specific individual, because these things take a lot of research, and they take a lot of tests, and that takes a bit of time. But I can tell you this: if you believe that the collection of crack cocaine, pure fentanyl, methamphetamines, marijuana, and MDMA, assault rifle, pistol, and all this cash is not a recipe for gun violence, you're kidding yourself. We're under no illusion that these are not bad guys. And now they need to replace the locks on their doors because we kicked them in. Anything else? Thank you all for coming. Again, I just wanted to say, Merry Christmas to Escambia County residents, certainly those that live in this area, and I want to say how proud I am of our narcotics unit and our partners here locally, and have a good day. Thanks.